Alrighty, so hello everyone. We are recording for our fourth meeting. Today is February 13th, Friday the 13th. Crazy day. Let's go ahead and get our meeting for the Nameless Guild off and running. Hey everybody. I missed the last meeting because I got called into work, and it has been a little bit of time, but welcome to the Burning Crusade. Everyone's already been going kind of crazy and leveling, and I'm very happy to see it. I'm very happy to see the enthusiasm. I love it. Let's keep that up. Uh, Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into what we've got to say for our meeting for today. I'll try to be as precise and quick as we can be. So, first thing is first, we're going to go ahead and talk about, now that we're in TBC, the profession grinds that are going on. Right now, one of the biggest things that we can use as a guild are going to be some raw materials for the Burning Crusade content. And one of the biggest things in that will be, of course, netherweave cloth. Any netherweave cloth that you guys are willing to donate will end up going towards helping our tailors level up their skill to create bags to give away for everybody in the guild meetings. So if we have the opportunity to get some, it helps out a lot, and we really appreciate anything you can and do give. And I've got a big announcement for all of this. More than 2 meetings ago, I'm pretty sure. If not, it was right before the last one. I put out a raid availability form for everyone to fill out, so that way we could figure out where the most people lined up and where we could potentially get the best overall composition for raids moving forward. After asking a lot of people to pop in and take a look at it, give us the information that they could, the data pointed us to what seems to be a relatively clear winner. Our raid times moving forward will be on Sundays and Mondays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is a little bit earlier from what we originally thought we would end up doing, but the overall composition just seems to be better for the earlier time. So once again, Sundays and Mondays, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's going to be our
can
first
I chime in
group.
real quick?
Well, let me finish this thought.
Yeah, sure. Sorry.
That is going to be our first group, and that is what we're going to be aiming to do. With the more people that we have, the more times that we can potentially open up, and this is going to be generally the one that is what we're trying to get folks into, especially for the 25. It is still open for other folks to go ahead and run raids using our services that we have, sign-ups on the Discord and things like that through Vishy's help. So that way we can still get you guys in if you can't make the main time, but you want to stick with us and hang out because we're social first. It's all encouraged. So if you can't make the main raid time, but you still want to stick around, you are welcomed, and we'll do everything we can to help you still get some raiding in wherever we can. And Vishy, if that didn't address what you were going to say, go ahead.
It was close.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I know that not everybody is going to be pleased with that, but there's literally not an option that everybody was going to be pleased with. That's just unfortunately part of coming up with raid times that work for the most amount of people. Not to mention raid composition. It's just very, very difficult. You don't need to be available to raid both days per se, but if we're going to talk about having formal spots and stuff that are reserved for you, then yeah, kinda. But again, like Ash just said, we very much can start more than one group. This is literally just the beginning. So we noticed that there were, for example, a lot of people that were available for Friday, Saturday, and so we may do that. I strongly encourage people who cannot make those times to start a group themselves, a consistent one that they can tell me, hey, it's going to be every day X and day Y at these times. Can you please make an event sign up that automatically recurs? We can do that, and have people do signups. If you want to handle it with permanent spots, you can handle it that way if you'd like. If you want to just have it be first come first serve, you can handle it how you like, as long as basic guild rules are upheld. We strongly encourage people to do that. We want to keep as many people here as possible, of course, and make sure that everybody gets a chance to see all the content.
Yeah. So make sure you guys talk to us if something doesn't work out on the surface. We're here to help so that we can make it work one way or another. That's our goal. We are here to facilitate. Let's go ahead then and talk about our promotions, and we'll also be able to start some of the giveaways here. I'll have to figure out how we're doing that. So we don't have too many promotions for now. Mostly these are a matter of time and things of that nature for now. We are going to go ahead and get the big one set and done. I've decided to go ahead and appoint a new officer. Shade is going to be our new officer. He is here during our EU hours, and he will be able to help out with any of the things that most of us are kind of asleep during. So, yeah, Shady is officially an officer now. If you guys need anything, feel free to reach out to him. He'll be able to help out as well. And because I'm the only one that can do this level,
I took care of it on Discord.
yeah, I just need to find him in the long list of names that we have. And remember my alphabet. That would be wonderful. There's that promotion. We will go ahead and handle the alts in a little bit. I might forget it though. Hold on.
If you want, I can handle the alts and you can keep moving.
I got the 2 at least. Okay, so yeah, congratulations, Shade. Welcome to the team. And as I said, if you guys need something, he's there to help. Let him know. So to answer that question, Ed, we're gonna come down to that, I believe, a little bit later, unless it was removed.
Well, no, the initiate to member is not done just by attending a meeting. That would be newcomer to initiate.
Yeah, I originally had written out
But there is,
so
yeah, we have something to say about that though.
Yeah. So that's coming up here. So the next thing that we're going to be doing here in the middle of these promotions is introducing a new rank into the system. So this new rank is going to be referred to as the assistant rank. This rank is for people that we often ask for aid in different areas, such as help with raid composition, giveaway assistance, recruitment, those kinds of things. They are not officers, but we want to give them a little bit of a shout out because they're extra helpful and they can overall be trusted, and we pull on them kind of frequently to do it. So it is just purely to show appreciation for their help and offer a little bit of transparency as well for everybody. The first 2 members of this rank are Vyarkia and Gia.
Congrats, both.
Vishy, this is one that you can go ahead and promote their mains to that rank.
Yeah, I'm taking care of the Discord one first.
Yep. So yeah, congratulations to the both of you. Thank you, as always, for all of your assistance. We're probably gonna be calling on you every once in a while, so.
Right now, can we get some coffee, please?
You don't pay me enough for that.
I don't pay you.
That's your answer then.
That's the point, yeah.
Damn it.
Zach, why? I'm just thinking lewd, dirty thoughts.
Then
Sir!
you're in the right guild.
If not for the gutter, my brain would be homeless.
At the closet space down here, though. Immaculate.
Alright, so with that new rank out of the way, we now go to member rank promotions. There is going to be a new system that we are looking at in Discord to have all of you help us with figuring out who deserves member rank, because there's a lot of you. We can't really keep track of every single person and keep it all in our head exactly organized as easily as other people can. In order to help this, we have a system in Discord now that allows you to create a quote-unquote ticket. This system is going to be used so you all can recommend to us people you feel are worthy for that promotion from Initiate to member rank. A single recommendation does not guarantee, nor does 5 recommendations guarantee. It just helps us see what you all are seeing and the reasoning that you're giving so that we can verify and get more people up to member rank. That being said, the first 2 that are going to be ranked up outside of this system, because it hasn't started yet, that's going to be for something for all of you, is going to be Hank Senpai and Forgiver. Both of you are getting ranked up into member status. Thank you for being awesome members of the community, being participatory, and being good examples. This is what we've seen so far, and we hope many more will come with this new ranking system.
The new promotions channel is here in the Dreamscythe section on Discord. And it's pretty simple to use. All you have to do is hit the nominate button. Basically, just anytime you have a good experience with somebody in the guild who's initiate rank, it's a great time to use that. You can use it for people who aren't initiate rank as well, but the primary usage is to make sure that the officer team is aware that a good thing happened with somebody. Because the fact is, we can't be there for everything, and we want people to be given credit for where it's due. So please make use of it, and let the love go round.
Also, the less work that I have to do, the better. So thank you guys. I'm putting you all to work. Give me recommendations. Mwahaha, evil guildmaster. Alright, so those are the promotions and the rank things to discuss for this meeting that is done. Let's go ahead and try to blast through the rest of the stuff that we've got here, and then we'll figure out how to do this giveaway, because I've got a lot of things to give out.
Should Shady and I get started on promotions to initiate for
yes.
those who are newcomers that are here?
Yeah, that's right. I didn't talk about that. Any of the newcomers that have joined us here for this meeting and you are now in Discord, that is the requirement to go to Initiate rank. So congratulations on Initiate rank for those of the newcomers who have joined us for this meeting. Vishy,
you do
Shay
group 1,
will
I'll
go
take
ahead
care of
and do
group
that.
2.
Alrighty. So, since the last meeting, Bank Tab 3 has opened up, thanks to some help from the officer team now officially. All guildies of Initiate rank or higher can take a limited number of items from the first tab, and all deposits are going to go onto the second tab. The big things that we're looking for donations and focus on is going to be gear, recipes, and raw trade goods. Once we manage to get to it, the fourth tab for the bank will be very helpful for organization and setting different rank permissions for folks to pull different things out. The cost for that is quickly rising. It is 1,000 gold to purchase that fourth tab. And as always, donations are absolutely not required, and anything all of you give is always greatly appreciated. Dungeon spam groups. If you guys still want to do some dungeon spams for leveling and things of that nature, they are still available for event creation if you request them. All you need to do is reach out to Vishy, and he'll be able to go ahead and set up a dungeon spam group listing for you. Once the raids open on the 19th as well, you can also organize raid runs separate from the official guild runs this way. That way you can go ahead and set yourself up for creating the raid groups that we said that aren't going to be at the normal times.
Sakurag, is this your new main? Because you were marked as Sakarum being your main.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so as I said just before, raids are opening on the 19th, so 6 days from now. Our goal in these coming days and weeks, even beyond the raids opening, is to get as many people to level 70 as we can, run those heroic dungeons to get attunement and gear, and work hard on being raid ready as a group together. It is almost assuredly going to be that we will not have enough people for a 25-man raid in the first week of raiding, especially considering my schedule got shifted around and I have to work one of those days. Until we have enough people, we do still intend on using that raid time, though, to run as many 10-mans as possible in Karazhan, and hugging the rest that we don't have the space to fill. So we are still going to be doing something. Make sure you guys stick around. We're going to be doing what we can to get everybody together, organized, and getting that gear. But absolutely be prepared to be not prepared enough. Reminder for all of us here, as well as the newcomers for your first meeting with us, our raid environment is considered casual in raiding, with basic raiding etiquette requirements. So we're not full casual, but we have a little bit of extra. Those things for etiquette that we're going to be asking for are signups. That way we know who's coming ahead of time and we can do our best with the compositions. Signups also end up going outside of the raid for different community events and hangouts, things of that nature. More etiquette, coming prepared with your consumables. Understanding your role in class and the things that you're going to be doing in the raid with the character. A willingness to take constructive feedback and grow. None of us are perfect. I'm certainly far from perfect. But together, we will go ahead and improve. And that's the point here. As well as the final thing for etiquette, making sure we all stay as focused as we can during raids. We're going to have fun. We're going to have giggles, but when push comes to shove and we're in the middle of a boss fight, focus is important. And as I say every meeting too, I want to stress again that we are not hardcore, semi-hardcore, etc. Instead, we're here to have fun and experience the content while respecting everyone's time and efforts to accomplish the completion of these raids and give it our best shot. We're seeking to foster a friendly environment here with respect to everyone. Nothing should be meant to belittle others or rage bait, as a couple examples. Your standard Blizzard terms of service rules still apply, plus our own rules on top of that. The key thing here is respect. If we run into significant violations, the officer team will address those. And if you have any questions about what is or is not okay, check the guild rules section on Discord for those specifics. Let's go ahead and talk about our loot system for the raids, because how you guys get the gear is a big part of how raids go for us. Right now, there are not many working add-ons our system that we wish to use, which is EPGP. I have found one, and I'm going to be testing that with my officer team over the coming days to make sure that it's something that we can get our heads wrapped around and utilize before raids go in officially. But for EPGP, the short version of it is that you get effort points, or EP, for participating, and you get gear points, or GP, from receiving loot. Your loot priority versus others is calculated simply by taking your EP and dividing it by your GP. Every week, there's also a 30% decay to both of those numbers, leaving your priority unaffected, but allowing more current participation and gear obtained to matter more. There are definitely more intricacies to this loot system, such as minimum GP and off-spec disp counts, but for the sake of time, not going to go into those here. We will try to have a summary up on Discord, and you can ask anyone in the officer team to explain it better privately as well. Now here is the one change that the officer team has talked about, and we think it is going to end up being a good thing. I ask you all to bear with me. I'm going to try to read this as verbatim as I can, and it is 2 large paragraphs. Hold out until I finish these paragraphs. On a very rare occurrence, select items will be loot counseled outside of the EPGP system ahead of time. When one of these items drops, it will go to the previously announced character. They will still receive GP for the item, however. The intention for this rare case is to ensure items that are extra valuable and top tier for a very long time end up going to a class/spec that best utilizes it. Our first example is Dragon Spine Trophy. It will be best used by some melee classes, but theoretically could be used by a hunter as well. We want to ensure that in this very rare case, people don't feel cheated of a BIS item that will last them nearly all expansion to someone who can and likely will find better much sooner. Whenever an item is expected to be handled in this manner, it will be announced publicly well before the raid occurs, including the intended class and spec to receive it. After the item is awarded, the officer team will determine the next person to receive the item when it drops. Loot Council is a scary 2 words. We understand the fears that come with it. Currently, we can only think of 3 instances where it will be used, and as it stands currently, it's 1 per tier. Dragonspine Trophy in Tier 4, Mage Tier Armor in Tier 5, and Illidan's Glaives in Tier 6. That's how rarely it will occur, and all of these items we want to assign to someone that shows up regularly to help out the guild's progression the most by getting these immense bonuses. As they continue to drop and we continue to clear the raids, more and more people will be filtered through for receiving them. Please remember, we're here to enjoy the game together, and our intention with this exception to EPGP is to make it easier to see all content quicker. To help calm any doubts, please note that officers and myself currently are not playing classes that use these items at all. That's what I had to say about that. So, Loot Council, like I said, can be scary. People will absolutely have some PTSD in previous situations. It's not for us. It's not for the officer team at all. We're just trying to make sure we be as fair and as reasonable and get to see as much as we possibly can without playing favorites and things like that.
Grit's mentioned in Raid Group 2, and he's correct that it would also be the legendary from Sunwell, Thoradol.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, as you can see, there's a couple items that we haven't even come across yet that we're still trying to figure out.
But we're talking about immensely rare or very, very special items. They are the minority, very, very small minority.
Yeah. So, but as we get to those tiers and we start to go through that, we'll also talk to people and ask our raid group, hey, do you want this item? We'll figure out a list, and we'll announce, like I said, ahead of time, who it is that is first on that list whenever it does drop, if it drops. Some of these things might never drop, and we'll just cry into our sandwiches. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm hungry. That's why I thought of sandwiches. But yeah, If you guys have any concerns about those things, please let me know. I'm here to try to put those concerns to rest for you, because we want to have fun. That's what we're aiming here for. Moving on. Add-on requirements. For our raiders, there are going to be 4 specific add-ons that we're going to have you guys need to have. Deadly boss mods will be required. Some form of threat meter is going to be required. For paladins and the raid leaders, pally power is required. And
I'm sorry, can I just pause real quick? I'm so sorry. I want to address that people are asking more questions that are really good in guild chat. I'm writing them down so that way we can address them during the open floor segment at the end of the meeting. Those are very good. But Gabs, I saw your thing about off-spec. Doyle, I saw your thing about raid spots. So if anybody has more questions, you can feel free to ask in guild chat where I can see them. Sorry, continue, Ash.
Okay.
Sorry, you run add-ons?
No, you're good, yeah. So those 3 add-ons I mentioned, the last one I mentioned was Pally Power for Paladins and Raid Leaders only. Everybody else, if you don't play a Paladin, you don't have to worry about it. And the final one is whichever EPGP add-on we find that works. Currently, I am looking at one specific, but until I know it's going to work, I'm not going to name drop it or anything. Recommended add-ons for everybody. These are obviously recommended, not required. Nova World buffs, it helps with your layer information. Mapmate, it allows you to see your fellow guildies on the map and has easy layering and ghetto hearthing potential. Details, it helps with DPS meters and statistical combat tracking. Rating Buster, it helps you to easier understand your gear stats. It gives you a percentage instead of the specific number, for example. Attune, it's an add-on that helps explain how to get attuned to all raids and dungeons. And Item Rack, managing gear from multiple gear sets, especially useful for dual specs and hybrid classes.
Is there somewhere we can like find this list or what?
Yes, the list of add-ons is in the guild rules on Discord. Or the
I probably need to
add-ons
update
section.
them.
We do need to update that a little bit, which I'll get to that after this meeting here.
Also put down the recommended add-ons,
Yes.
maybe.
Yep, recommended is on there as well, I believe. So I gotta update it anyway. So, but I'll have that as soon as we finish this meeting. And yes, Item Rack is updated. That happened just the last 2 days, actually.
If I may for a moment,
Uh-huh.
Details has a built-in plugin called Tiny Threat, so I'm not sure if you would count that for, if somebody has
Yes.
details, if you would count that as a threat meter.
Absolutely
Let people
counts.
know.
Yep. In fact, that's the threat meter I'm using, is Tiny Threat inside of my details. So it absolutely counts. That's why I say any threat meter add-on. As long as you can see threat, that's the important thing. Yeah, let's go ahead and we'll talk very quickly about what constitutes guild ranks and promotions and get that out of the way again. Officer rank, it's based on leadership rather than skill. This is big. It's full trust given and must be earned. It comes with extra responsibilities and meetings, but gives a lot more say in guild decisions. Raider rank. We don't want to set a hard number for promotion to this rank. Instead, we're looking at your skill, participation in raids, understanding of the game, and community interactions as a whole. Veteran rank is long-standing members of our community, and it is promoted on a case-by-case basis. Member rank, which some of you achieved today, showing genuine positive interactions inside and outside of the guild. A general time frame, which is unspecific as well, tends to go into that. And Initiate, which some of you potentially got here as well, is all of our standard members. You join the guild meeting, you join Discord, and we continue to change our meeting dates and times as best as we can so that more people can get into these meetings to get that original promotion. Inactivity kicking, because we've had a couple questions come up where folks need to go for a little bit of time. Inactivity can eventually lead to being removed from the guild, and in order to do that, all of your characters in the guild would need to be offline for a significant length of time. The cutoff for what is significant will be adjusted based on need, but higher levels and higher ranks will always be allotted a longer inactivity time before being kicked. Inactivity doesn't bar you from getting a re-invite either. Removal from the guild will end up negatively impacting EPGP, so do your best to try to keep us in the loop so that you don't, fall out of that kind of idea as well. But for the most part, we don't have a need to be kicking anybody immediately. We got space still for inviting more people, more characters, so it's not something anyone immediately needs to worry about. But if you are worried about it, just let us know. That way we can keep a heads up on it, and that's normally good enough to do it. Character guild notes. Having these notes updated with your specs will help us manage information better and allow others to see what you prefer playing as. We will add your profession into the notes ourselves once your spec is filled out. We have a sneaky little add-on that tells us your professions, so you don't even need to tell us, we can figure it out. And just need you to tell us your spec info. If you need any help with that, message one of the officers or myself, and we'll do what we can to help that. Earlier, I saw Dag mentioning if anyone had a box that they needed opened to let him know. I've got boxes in the guild bank, my good sir, that I will be poking to ask you to unlock for us, because they've been sitting there for a while, so we're going to go do that.
I can do all of them. So.
Excellent. Currently, our next meeting is going to be set to Thursday, March 5th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And with that, this is what I have. Let's get the giveaways done, and then we can open the floor to questions.
I would recommend that we do some of the giveaways now, or do the open floor now. I'm writing down the questions as I see them.
Yeah, keep writing the questions, keep track of that. I'm going to handle some of these giveaways here. The last time I was here with a giveaway, we did top rolls based on the number of slots in the bags. I've got some 14 slotters, and we've got a good chunk of 16 slotters. We've also got a good number of blues that we can go ahead and give away as well. And if you can use it, feel free to roll on it. I was originally going to think about just having everybody rolls and then someone gets a random item that I pick, but because I can't easily randomize it, I guess we'll just go through all the BOEs one at a time, and if anybody wants it, we'll get a slash roll in that situation. So let's go ahead and start with bags, because that's going to be the quickest of it all. I'm going to go ahead and, in raid warning here, for the current raid group that I have control of, put up the items specifically, and I will be taking the top 6 for these 14 slot bags, 1 per person.
Just a reminder that people who are in group 2 with me, you guys have opted out of being eligible for those, but there might be 1 or 2 spots still left in group 1 if you wanted to hop back over.
I haven't gotten any whispers yet, so, and 1 person just left, so there's 6 slots left.
Good.
Okay, here we go.
I don't think there's anything in there for me, so I'm good.
Taz, you can drop out of group 1 and go into group, or drop out of group 2 and go into group 1 for now, so Aegea can port you.
Closing rolls for the 14 slot bags in 3, 2, 1. You guys made this super easy. Everyone who rolled, come get a bag. I'm going to be over here towards the fiery pillar.
Portal to Shat is open if anybody in Group 1 wants to hop out and take it. Or hop through
We do
it
have
and then
more
leave
stuff
group.
happening, like giveaways and stuff, so do not take it if you are planning on sticking around. We also have a couple of questions that were written down from Gabs, Doyle, Taz, and Orc, which we will be addressing after the giveaways. Boom, you had a question too? Let me scroll up.
We go. Top 10 win another weave bag. Closing rolls in 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and go down the list here. Topside Jedi with a 100.
He really wants that bag, man.
Telling me. Playlist with a 77. Come on forward and grab that bag.
You do not get 20 gold for a quest at 70, that unless it's a group quest. Just noting that, Doyle.
Yep. Playlist, I see you back here. Come on forward. I'm the jumping bean right in front of you. Gabs, you're up next with a 51. Orlockasaur, 48. Javis with a 43. It says you're busy. Did we do that wrong? There we go. Shade with a 30. I'll give you yours later.
Okay.
Forgiver, 24. Terrabellum, 23. Polra, 21. And lastly, Dag with an 18. Okay, so those are the bags handled, everybody. Let's go ahead and blast through some of these items. We're going to go through 5 really fast from Old World content, see if anybody is interested in any of these, and then we've got a good chunk for TPC stuff as well. So I'm going to try to be quick. Please be quick as well if you're interested in any of these items. Closing rolls in 3, 2, 1. Next item. Closing rolls in 3, 2, 1. If you want it, you roll it. Yeah, it doesn't even matter if it's main or not. Like, if you want it, just roll. So, Warlock, is that any of the items that I already clicked that you're interested in, or you're just double checking? Gotcha. Skeletal shoulders up on the auction block. Three, 2, 1. The butcher himself. Up on the chopping block with his sword. Very fine. Finest of steels. 3, 2, 1. And a druid-specific helm. About the closest you get to a wolf form as a druid. Going in 3, 2, 1. Laura, that's going to be for you. Put it to good use. Okay, next we've got a little deviation, because this is always fun. Who wants this?
Neil Gimmy was gonna roll on that.
And it seems like she really wants it.
Well, it's a pat, right?
Yeah.
What you rolling off? I didn't see this one.
So this was a donation from Gia to go ahead and give away a pet, a Dragonhawk hatchling.
Ah.
I started the tradition in hardcore, so I thought it might be a nice break here too.
It is nice. And we're closing the rolls in 3, 2, 1. That's for you, Gummy.
Thank you, Tia.
Welcome.
I'll go
I
ahead
should fetch
and,
it, right?
Yeah, come on up and trade me.
Where are you?
Over by the Pillar of Flame and the big iron balls.
Oh, I find that, yeah.
Yeah, I have a moon over my head.
Jesus Christ, I'm blind.
There
Thank
you
you.
go. Yeah, congrats.
Gummy does not see the moons anymore since she's not a mage.
Right. Alright. Let's go ahead and tackle what looks to be some of the bigger pieces here. I've got 2 Shrouds of Frenzy, cloak item, strength, critical strike rating. Top 2 rolls will win this item.
What do you mean bigger items?
The price that I saw, like the selling price. Oh, good, Doug. I'll poke you later for the chests. Closing rolls in 3, 2, 1. Top 2 are Gabs with a 56 and Hora with a 23. Next, breastplate of blade churning. Nice plate tank item. Obviously, you can use it for alts later on if you want as well. This is open for anyone to grab. I should have reset that. But I'm keeping an eye on it. Closing rolls in 3, 2, 1. It's Compsci Jedi with an 86.
Yes, I'm going to be dual specking Prot.
It's a good thing. Next, the Hallberg of Totemic Rage. Level 60 requirement. General purpose mail armor for Shaman. Closing rolls in 3, 2, 1. Orlakasaur with an 81. Gloves of Ferocity. This is a typical Druid item, it looks like. Leather gloves. Closing rolls on this in 3, 2, 1. Just barely beat it out. Ho-Rel with a 50. Got some good rolls today. Now, one of the items was also no competition, so. For the casters, Blade of Trapped Knowledge. Spell crit, damage, magic spells 68. Closing rolls in 3, 2, 1. Lock, you're the only one. Come get. For the paladins in the group, Chest Guard of Illumination. Sorry, Zach. General purpose, huge amount of strength. This is definitely for a Ret Paladin intended. Closing rolls in 3, 2, 1. Compsci, this is yours. Chest Guard of the Talon, and then one more to go. This is a higher level, 68 item. Leather chest piece with extra armor. Definitely a druid item. Closing rolls in 3, 2, 1. Gabs with a 60.
If Bears needs it more, he can have it.
Okay. He's passing. Whip, still up for it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to tanking.
Excellent. Come on up here and grab it. That is straightforward. I see you on the mount. There you go. Thank you. I'm lazy and my legs don't work so well. And the last item of the day is Headdress of the Sleeper. Stats all over the place with some hit rating. Leather helmet. Oh yeah, those rogues need that intellect and spirit like it's nobody's business.
It can only help.
Well, that's health regen and skill level up.
I had it for a while on the enhancement spec. It was quite good.
Okay.
Yeah, enhancement is probably the only.
People in group 2, group 1 has enough space for us, so I'm going to be dropping group, and you can drop group as well and get an invite by messaging Shady. Shady, you can toss me an invite.
All right, closing the rolls on that headdress in 3, 2, 1. No one was interested. So we'll go ahead and figure out what to do with this item. Probably disenchant or something. Alright, folks. Well, that's everything we had for the giveaways for today. Plenty of items. A lot of good stuff that can be used moving forward as well, which is fantastic. Now then. We have room for questions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the questions that we had written down here. First question that came in that we saw was from Gabs. When it comes to EPGP, do we get an off-spec and do we choose? So off-specs are definitely going to be something that is going to be involved in EPGP. The last time we did it, we gave items for EPGP at a 50% discount on GP, and of course, off-spec
I think it was even more than that.
I'm going to be doing a 50% though.
Okay.
So I like the idea of a 50, and we'll do that. It will end up being after anyone wants it for a main spec, not before, for obvious reasons. And I don't think we're going to have any specific off-spec, so classes that, are triple don't need to choose between one of the two of them. You'll be able to just go ahead and it's an off-spec for you. If you want it, you can go ahead and build up a gear set. And those that are exclusively DPS, if it's better based on stats for, like, take a mage for example, if an item doesn't do you a lot of good in arcane spec but is good for a fire spec, then we can let you roll on an off spec after the fact kind of idea. But with all the casters, it'll probably be a while till that happens anyway.
My question was more going into another direction.
Go ahead then and fill me in then.
I wanted to ask more about like group composition, so I'm probably going to go healer, but if I go for an off-spec and, for example, we don't need so many healers, which off-spec should I go to and stuff like that? If there's a preference, like currently I'm in enhancement charm, if there's a preference for other off-specs and so on.
Ah, okay. Yeah, right now we're still trying to build the composition to see who we have and what we have based on the responses that we got in that form. If things open up where we can allow people to play one over the other, we'll talk to you. We'll say, hey, which would you prefer to do? You have the choice, kind of idea. But I can't say for certain just yet what exactly we're going to be looking for and needing, because still got more people to fill in. And to tack that on there for Boom as well, if you're off spec, just more of the raid preferred spec, and you roll in items if you're in your main spec. So if we ask you to go in on an off spec kind of idea, the penalties for that are not going to be implemented for the most part, because we're asking you to do something to help out with the raid group in general.
The fundamental difference is whether we are asking you to switch to your off spec, or if you are saying, I want to switch to my off spec. That is the difference.
Yeah. And at that point, the gear will end up still flowing your direction either way, so... let's see. Next question I had there was from Addo. Will spots for the raid be announced ahead of time? Permanent spots or rotating announced each raid? So
I did paraphrase some of these questions. It's not exactly what they said, just for the record.
That's fair. As long as the question gets answered, let me know at the end. And like I didn't answer it appropriately for Cabs, so he let me know. That's good. So to answer that question for you, Edo, the raid spots, for the most part, are not going to be permanent spots. There's going to be, as we continue to go, a general raid core group of people that show up every time and generally build the best composition that we have as guild members. But I'm not going to classify those as permanent spots because that runs into issues when they're not there, and then how do we move things around, and then if they don't show up, etc., etc. So it is always going to be considered that the raid spots are available for everyone to put in to join us. If we can build a composition with the folks that show up and we manage to do that and we can't get everybody in because of composition reasons, we do at least let people know ahead of time who we were able to get in for that weekly raid and get that kind of situation organized and moving. As
People
I said
also,
before,
if they get benched, they do still earn the EP.
yes,
Especially if they stay on bench the whole time and just wait in case somebody drops or whatever. That's very valuable to the guild and is very appreciated. And what winds up happening is if somebody's on bench and they get all that EP, and because they weren't in the raid, they didn't get any GP, they wind up not getting locked to the raid, which means they can pug it. They'll get all the EP and no GP, which means their priority goes way up, and they'll be in a really good position to get GP to get gear the next time they do get into the raid.
yep. And to answer that question for you, yes, the raid groups are still open. There's, based on the nature of just people here in general, it's a game. I can't expect everyone to be here like a job every week. If you can and you're able to do it, awesome. If you can't, I'm not going to punish you. You just aren't able to earn the EP for that week. So your priority won't be as high as the folks that do show up on the regular. And that's really where that system comes in, so we don't have to worry about, 24 people have to cancel their raid because one main person isn't there. We can move people around, get things in, and still get the job done. Can you switch your spec mid-raid if a dual spec, of course? Depending on the raid leader's requirements and requests. There are some fights where we don't need as many tanks, for example, and swapping to a DPS spec or an off healer for paladins and things like that. That's potential. But what you go into the raid for, so if you're going in as your main spec is a tank, for example, and you later switch over in the middle because of the request to a healer, when you start the raid, that's the gear that's going to be assigned to you as your main spec. Okay, another question / suggestion, it looks like. Tazzy brought up a potential channel on our Discord for personal time off. We'll have Vishy look into that. That way you guys can let
I
us
answered
know.
that in guild in text chat, and I wrote it down in the thing in case you wanted to say something more. But what I said is that last time that we did that, people found it, because we did do that once, and people found it very work-like and didn't like that. So we're open to it, but there are potential downfalls with it. So nothing's decided yet.
Yeah, my general idea with that is if you know you're going to be away for a while, and you want to put out a public announcement to let people know instead of just the officers, then you can go ahead and drop it into, a note there, and we can potentially put a separate thing aside, so that way we know it's, hey, I'm just out for a little bit. It's not a bad idea. I just don't want it to be too intense. It's more very casual, because that's what we're trying to do here is casual. Let's see. Orc with a K. Looks like the question was something along the lines of what professions do we need for the guild? The general production things that we're looking at are going to come in handy. Gathering is always going to be very handy for setting up materials for consumables and different gear pieces that we can make as well. Currently, I myself have been working on my blacksmithing and have enchanting. That way, when we get into Karazhan and we start to get some of those enchants, I'll be able to grab the enchant patterns so that way it's ready and available to go as often as possible to folks that need it. I know some people have been working on leatherworking, and leatherworking is great for raid reasons to be able to get some boosts and everything in that regard. But in general...
Oh, come on. Is somebody trying to kite that over here? Please don't do that.
Yeah. But yeah, in general, the idea here is if you can go ahead and do something with a profession and you want to give some of that capability towards the guild, it's welcomed. It's not required by any means, and anything you can participate in will definitely be appreciated. And Boom mentioned here, it looks like as well, would people checking in on Discord prevent that inactivity kicking? I am of mind to say we'll get back to you on that one.
We'll try. Having said that, though, that even if somebody does get kicked for inactivity, if they come back and they're still in the Discord, they can just, like, tell us, hey, can I get a reinvite?
Yep.
And our add-on will even tell us what rank you were and everything.
Yep.
So, don't worry too much about that.
Yeah, as I said back then, too, it's a significant time that ends up triggering it, and for the most part, that's going to be a good long while, because we don't need the spaces too much right now. Still got plenty of invite room for the guild, so... Well, those are the questions that I had there. If anyone else has a question and you would like to ask it, go ahead in the raid chat or guild chat if you're listening in there. Type a ABC for me.
I'm not seeing no ABCs. Yeah, if you have a question, speak now or forever hold your penis.
Let's have a penis.
Peace, Vishy, peace.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We don't,
you could call your penis
we don't,
a piece.
I was just going to say we don't judge on what you've named it.
I love that everyone is throwing all of that together. So, Rhett's asking here, any officers or anyone planning to make a PvP team, if no one is and you want to do that, that is an event thing that you can talk to Vishy about setting up signups for.
I'd be more than happy to help people set that up. I would not be as happy to participate.
Well, that's fine. I mean...
PvP not my thing, but I would be more than happy to help people set that up. I would love it if we had a section of the guild that liked to do PvP stuff on the side.
Yeah.
It'd be great. Yeah.
Alright. Got a question. Zebalok didn't type the ABC, but I see question, so...
Orc, hit me up outside of the meeting and we'll talk. This is Vishy. To get promoted from newcomer, you would have to attend one of the meetings from the start. I know you joined pretty late, so attend the next meeting at the from the start, and you'll get a promotion.
Yep. Which, to announce that again, I'm going to have the next meeting planned for March 5th, 10 a.m. PST.
What's that our time, Ash?
9. Or
Okay.
7, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a question. I'm already also working on alchemy. So I don't have it quite maxed, but I'm really close. What do we actually need? A potion master, elixir, or transmutation master that we actually need more in?
That's a good question.
That is a good question, which was addressed last night, actually, Vishy, if you want to answer that, because you were the one that suggested it.
I went elixir master, so I can handle flasks for the guild. And I believe Viarkia, who's one of our newly promoted assistants, is going to be going potion mastery. Given that, we don't need more than one of either of those. It would be ideal for both people personally and the guild if the rest of you alchemists go transmute master, because that you will make the most gold that way. You can get extra like big gold. I mean, if you make a primal might and it procs and you get 2 primal mites or even more, that's hundreds of gold that day that you just made by hitting a button. So highly recommend for that reason. And we will need primal mites to craft things and stuff anyway.
Not a problem. I just wanted to ask.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad to have the question. And I have a question to throw out there because I don't know if it was introduced later or not. Do we have alchemy specialization fixes, like fixes to it? Or if you do potion to get it and then you just pay gold to go to transmute, is that a thing already?
I believe that's a thing, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that might actually end up being a little bit easier to have.
I did the elixir mastery and it was pretty easy. You just make like 15 elixirs, and I can make them for people as well, and then potentially get duplicates. Be a little more efficient. And then you just run Black Morass a couple times, and that's it.
Yeah. All right. So looking at guild chat, I see here Vitalani has typed ABC for the question. Floor is yours.
Yeah, I didn't get 6:30. Yeah, it was a long day.
Skipping.
All right.
Comp Sci with the ABC. Floor is yours.
Also, I'm having a real hard time. Perfect. Like if I get like chicken nuggets or everything.
Question is, does the guild currently have jewel crafting ready to go?
So it's not that
I am not aware of any of the officers currently having jewel crafting leveled all the way and then also having all the recipes, so no. But also, that's gonna happen at some point, so I would, it's just helpful for the guild right now if y'all just, if you are jewel crafters already, get as many of those recipes as you can. Eventually, like I said, I would like somebody who's, either an officer or an assistant who can have, all the recipes, so that way, we can just utilize that in a more centralized way.
I'm working on it, and it's just taking me a while.
No worries. I've got an alt that's got it at 300, but I haven't leveled into the Outland stuff yet.
I just seen a thing out in a post. I was just reading this one since they asked. It costs you 150 gold to a respective trainer to switch specs.
Okay, good. So
on the alchemy, you mean?
Yeah, on the alchemy, yeah. So it is implemented already. Good. All right. Senpai, I saw a question from you. And also, I'll go ahead and say, while they are typing it up, if you guys don't have any questions otherwise, you are free to go back to leveling, enjoying whatever you want to do. That's all I had for you today. So,
Tank Senpai, did you have something else?
Oh yeah, sorry. Are you guys gonna have decursive be a required add-on too?
No. but you know, obviously, you're going to be required to decurse or whatever your class can do. So have a way of doing it.
Yeah. So, for example,
Whatever
for
works for
me,
you.
the most comfortable thing that I tend to have is just a mouse over macro that does my decursing and my cleansing and things like that. And that's how I play more comfortably. Forcing an add-on to change a play style overall is something I want to try to avoid. So I'm not going to require it. But hey, if it works for you and you're happy with it, by all means.
If anybody
We'll
wants
have a
port
portal.
anywhere, let me
I was
know.
going to ask if we could have a portal to Shad at the end here. That'd be fantastic. And if does anybody here want a portal to Stonard for some reason? Because if so, I'm sure Gia wouldn't mind doing that. Gia, I'm going to give you money for the reagents. I saw I tossed out a couple portals earlier too.
Thank you, everybody,
you,
for
Gia.
coming. And I'm going to go
Welcome.
ahead
Thank you,
and
Gia.
end this recording. Thank you, Gia, for the portal.
I do
Yeah,
believe there were a
thank
couple
you.
of people who wanted to organize some Ring of Blood runs right now, and also potentially some dungeons. So this would be